What up, Raffalitos? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to take a look at Ogle Airport. We're going to take a look at Pradoville 2, and we're going to take a look at the developments, that is the new construction in that area, the Eugene F Corrier Airport at Ogle. Right now we're at Ogle on Rupert Craig Highway. We just crossed into the village of Ogle. We're standing on the divider, right? We're standing on the divider between the two halves, the north and south half of the Rupert Craig Highway, and this is what it looks like in the direction we're going. We're going behind me to Ogle. Just completed about 5 miles of my morning run, so I've just run about 5 miles, hence all of the perspiration. Well, we're going to head over to Ogle to take a look at the developments there. So stay tuned. What up, Raffalitos? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're heading to Ogle. We're going to take a look at Pradoville 2 and the Ogle Airport, what is now known as the Corrier Airport. Right now we're on the Rupert Craig Highway. Just crossed over into Ogle. That's the Ogle gas station. And right up ahead, where those traffic lights are, though, that is the junction intersection going into Ogle. It's about 6 a.m. on, what is it, Wednesday morning here in Georgetown, Guyana. 6 a.m. I'm about 5 miles into my 13-mile run this morning, and what you're going to do with me today is to take a walk along one of my morning runs to see the new developments at Ogle in Georgetown, Guyana. Stay tuned. So guys, this is Ogle, getting up to the junction. This is the Rupert Craig Highway. Some of the houses at the junction. This, in fact, looks like a hotel, but I think somebody just got carried away and built a very large home. We're heading up to this junction where we're going to head into the new housing development, the Pradoville 2. And the Ogle Airport. That's the morning traffic coming off of the east coast, right? So coming from east coast of Demerara to Georgetown. This is not rush hour, it's still about 6 a.m. And this intersection, this road, marks the end of Ogle and the beginning of Good for Wachting. That's a new store out here, Rue Camel. Apparently it's the so that's Good for Wachting. That's the next village after Ogle. And as you can see, the sign says, that sign says Ogle Airport this way. That's Ogle Airport. And that sign says welcome to Ogle. That is Rue Camel, the new, looks like a bond storage building, but with some mannequins in the window. So this, guys, is Ogle at about 6 a.m. in the morning. So that's the intersection we just came off of, the intersection with Ogle and Rupert Craig Highway. This is a building that seems to be up for sale. There's a phone number on it there. Don't know if it's for sale, but this is Ogle and Good for Acton. So on the west side of this road is Ogle. So those houses, these streets are in Ogle. And on the eastern side of the road, on this side, this is Good for Acton. And this road is the demarcation, the dividing line, the boundary between the two villages, Ogle and Good for Acton. Actually, this reminds me a lot about Long Island. So a lot of the townships and villages on Long Island are these tiny developments that are butted up against each other, and you can go through a dozen of them in a couple of miles, and you can move from one village to another where the demographics is completely different. I remember going through places like Coram and Centereach and Patchogue on the eastern end. Well, that's Suffolk County, western Suffolk. And the idea is the same, even if you go through places in Nassau County. There are all of these villages that are one after another, you know, Franklin Square and Valley Stream and so on. So this is the similarity between, say, Ogle. Let's say Ogle on this side. So a fair amount of construction going on here. And Good for Acton on the other side of the road. And this is the line of demarcation. The next intersection that we're coming up at is the Train Line Road, also referred to as Line Top Road. So that is where the train line used to be. And like I said in the last video, where I was walking along the new parking lot in Demerara Street, that they should build a train line again, like a monorail, elevated train on that embankment, and let it run all along the east coast. This is about 4 miles east of that location, 4.5 miles east of where we were in that video. And this road coming up here is what is built on the old train line. Again, a lot of halfway completed construction here. That's Good for Acton. Somebody started building what appears to be a hotel or some kind of commercial residential building, and haven't yet completed it. This is a canal. On the one side it's clear, the other side it's, I guess, overgrown. But this is Ogle, guys. This is on the west side of this boundary. It's on the right hand side in this video. That's Ogle. And on the other side is Good for Acton. And we're heading towards the airport. This is somebody's home as well as business establishment decorated for Christmas, and a shop at the corner. So there was a time when these mom and pop stores, home advertising, Ivanov vodka. These mom and pop stores used to be normal, and now they're being replaced by large business establishments. Like I said, this is the train line road, also referred to as Line Top Road. That's east heading towards Berbice. That's west heading towards Georgetown, Line Top Road. And as the sign says here, Eugene F Corrier Airport. We're heading towards Eugene F Corrier Airport. It's quite busy, in fact. A lot of this traffic is probably taking people to and from the airport now. Hi, sure. Morning. Yes, a lot of this traffic is going to and from the airport. Tourists to Kaishore are usually run from this airport. So Ogle Airport, or Eugene F Corrier Airport, is a regional airport. Again, this is Ogle on this side, right on the right hand side of this divide. That's Ogle, and on the left hand side, coming up on Pradoville 2. Right, remember I said Pradoville 2 is one of those early housing developments that was built by the PPP government and largely given away to the party, friends of the party. On this side, somebody also tried to build what appears to be a tall structure. Looks like a church, but maybe a home. There's no sign on it, so I'm going to assume it's residential. But these are the houses that have been built in recent years, right, since 1992, when the PPP took over government. About 27, what is that, 30 years ago. So this is also a new house built in Ogle. So you can see the difference between the previous architecture built in the 70s. So that's what we were building in the 1970s. And this is what is being built now in the 2000s. Again, this is Ogle. On the other side, Pradoville Housing Development. And we're heading towards Ogle Airport, which is about a mile down. So come with me on this journey. So what is interesting about Ogle is that it's a regional airport, but you can actually take off from Ogle to places in the Caribbean. So you could probably get to Trinidad or Barbados much more quickly from Georgetown if you go through Ogle Airport. And Ogle Airport also connects the domestic travelers to their communities in the interior. So if you wanted to fly to some more new construction in Ogle. Yes, if you wanted to fly to Letem or to Mabaruma or to Kaishore, usually you have to go through Ogle Airport. So a lot of these tour operators operate their businesses from Ogle. And so Ogle is a regional airport. It's not as big as Demerara Airport, Chetty Jagan International Airport, but it's international in the sense that you can get to the Caribbean islands from Ogle. But if you wanted to get to, say, London or Toronto, Miami, New York, you need to go through Demerara Airport, unless you plan to island hop. So that's Pradoville 2. Pradoville 2 housing development on the Good for Acton side of Ogle. This is an older 1970s, I think, split level design that became popular, I think, once people started building their own homes. And it's great design for, say, solar. If you wanted to put solar panels on that roof, it's tilted in the right direction, tilted to the south for you to get maximum sunlight. So this is what's happening here, guys. This is Ogle, and we're heading towards Ogle Airport, and we're about, say, half a mile now from the Ogle Airport. And on the other side, Pradoville. We're probably going to take a closer look at Pradoville on another day. So
Distance,
one of the problems,
6 miles.
so guys, we're approaching Ogle Airport. Just skipped a large section past all of this open land where I suppose it's going to be developed. Seems as if, what do we have here? They're building a pediatric and maternal hospital. So apparently these piles of sand, so that's the airport. We're about a mile in from the road. That's the helicopter that just took off from the airport. I was about to say that it's going to be quite noisy in this location if it's near to the airport, particularly as air traffic becomes much more frequent and this airport becomes popular. This is going to be a very noisy location where to live and to build. But this pile of sand seems to be for the new pediatric and maternal hospital. I think it's a bad location for a hospital if you need quiet, if you need peace and quiet, because it's going to be very noisy, like I said, because of the airport. This is probably zoned for commercial property and really not great for residential property, because if you hear the sound, the loudness, the decibels of particularly helicopters and propeller driven aircrafts, they're pretty loud. But this is the airport behind these field of bush, and in fact it used to be far away from residential communities, but as housing development extends outside of Georgetown and along the coast, more and more housing is being built close to the airport. So if you are along the flight path, if you live along the flight path, you're going to have a constant sound of aircraft coming off of the Ogle Airport. So these billboards are advertising local overland and air tours. That's Kaichur Falls for $215 per seat. This is Air Services Limited, another hangar operator that does flight maintenance and so on for your private aircraft. So if you have a private plane and you want to put it, you want to store it here at Ogle and use this as your hub, there is Air Services Limited, can do your maintenance. This is Trans-Guyana Airways. Trans-Guyana Airways is another local company that does overland, regional travel. If you want to fly from the coast to the interior locations, and that's one of the places you can use, one of the local companies. Then there's Roraima Airways. That's the blue building right up ahead. Roraima Airways is another local and regional airline company. If you want to do tours and you want to fly into the interior, that's also where you probably would end up going or using. And what we're approaching now is the entrance of the airport. Take a look at the Air Services buildings. So those buildings represent some of the air services, and this is the new terminal. At the top of it you can see that's the radar tower, small one compared to Demerara Airport. And these are the various services that you can get. That's a little shop, restaurant out here. Now this is a small regional airport, so that's an aircraft sitting on the tarmac. And not suitable for large flights, large aircraft. Here, for example, is one aircraft that we tested. And repairs and maintenance can be done. This is where aircraft maintenance is being done. That's the Trans-Guyana Airways. That's Roraima's terminal. So this is the parking area outside the airport. So for people who are commuting to the airport, they probably park over here. Again, as the sign says, that's the Eugene F Corrier Airport. So the sign says that's Eugene F Corrier Airport. This is airport terminal. That's arrivals, and this is departures. There's a line in there for check-in. That's your Scotiabank terminal. That is for collecting or withdrawing cash, your ATM. And over here, another series of hangars for aircraft maintenance, storage. Alright, so this essentially is it, guys. There's nothing more than this. Beyond this is the tarmac, the runway. Those are the hangars where a lot of the aircrafts, that is the local planes and helicopters, are maintained and repaired. This one is the Roraima Airways hangar. Beyond that, I can see there's another Air Services Limited hangar, and so I guess the fire brigade fire engines are lined up on that side, and this is one of the taxiing strips. And that's it, guys. It's a small airport. It's not as big as the Demerara Airport, but as you can see, it's growing in size. Because of the popularity. It's becoming a lot more popular to travel to the Caribbean from Ogle, from this location. Beyond that is the runway. Right beyond the airport building, the small airport, Eugene F Corrier Airport building, is the runway. Right, so beyond this building, Eugene F Corrier Airport building, Ogle Airport building, is the tarmac, the runway, and that's it. Parking area is for, I suppose, people who work here at the airport. There's a little restaurant, beer garden on the right hand side as you come out, and on this side is Air Services Limited hangars and so on. But that's it, guys. That's what's happening here in Ogle at about 7 o'clock in the morning. Right, that's Gun Air Suriname. Little sign says. Right, that's a little sign that says Gun Air Suriname, and that says Suriname and Let Them. So turns out that this is probably the location to which you, this is the airport, the regional airport to which you come if you want to fly to Suriname or to Let Them. Two of the regional, this is in the continent, on the continent, South American continent, locations that you can get to from Ogle Airport. So that's what's happening here, guys. Like I said, these are unique apartments. I suppose people are going to start building commercial housing here, but this is, if you were coming in to Ogle and you need a place to stay, this is one of the rental and hotel-like locations that you can rent from right outside Ogle Airport. And that's it. It's a small operation, tidy operation, but has been growing rapidly, especially since oil and gas. Now, this is also the location near Ogle Airport where ExxonMobil is building a lot of their company facilities, like their headquarters and housing for their staff, and a housing development, I suppose, for expatriates who are related to Exxon. Now I'm going to try and find that location. I'm not certain to get to it in this video, but in future I'm going to bring you some added content about the new housing developments going up in this neck of the woods, because this is where a lot of the development related to the oil and gas industry is taking place. So I'm going to show you now at the end of this video, as an introduction to the next video, where the ExxonMobil housing development and headquarters are going to be built. As you can see on this sign coming up, get closer. This is one of the pieces of land. And all the aircraft taking off. And all the helicopters taking off. Right, that's a helicopter. Like I said, it's kind of a noisy location to operate from. It's kind of a noisy location to operate from. But as you can see, the sign here says AC Hotels Marriott. So this is the location for the next Marriott hotel that's being built. And it's just been recently in the news that the government of Guyana is about to sell the Marriott in Kingston. That hotel is going to be transferred to private ownership because currently it's owned by the people of Guyana. It was built off of the proceeds money earned from privatization of government property. They used that money to invest in the Marriott hotel. This is another, I don't know who's building this, but this seems to be another major construction. Somebody's putting up a huge fence on this side. This is, say, coming soon, last quarter of 2023. Retail units available. Call or WhatsApp, and there's a number there, 592-608-6002. Triniuana. Apparently this is a Trinidad and Guyana joint venture. Triniuana. But this is the AC Hotel again, another billboard for the AC Hotel. And as you can see, the sign says Triniuana, so I assume this is some kind of a joint venture between Trinidad and Guyana. I made a video recently, well, not so recently now, that says Guyana is going to overtake Trinidad in GDP in about a year or two. Right now we're about half their GDP, but as oil production ramps up, by 2025 Guyana is going to surpass the GDP of Trinidad. We're going to have an economy in about 47 billion, I think I calculated. Trinidad is still around 22 billion dollars. So in 2 years Guyana will be double, Guyana's economy will be double the size of Trinidad economy in terms of GDP. My Trini friends don't like to hear that, but guys, it's not a competition, it's just our time. It's just our time now. So you're welcome here. We're not going to mistreat our neighbors, our Caribbean neighbors, the way we were mistreated, because that's not our style. You're welcome to come to Guyana, live here, and join our growth. But this, guys, is where the new AC Hotel is going, new Marriott Hotel. And as we go further down this road, we'll get to the land that is probably being earmarked for Exxon's headquarters and various housing developments that they plan as they ramp up production. Exxon is planning to ramp up production to about 1 million barrels a day. Currently they're at 360,000 barrels a day, about a third of that production, and that's generating for Guyana about $1 billion per year. But in terms of GDP, it's about what was it, $8 billion a year in terms of GDP. Oil is currently contributing about $8 billion a year to the GDP. But when they ramp up production to 1 million barrels a day, depending on the price, oil will then be contributing about $60 billion a year to the Guyana economy, and that is by 2025. In other words, by 2025 and beyond.
Distance 7 miles. Mile.
Yes, guys, so getting to the end of this road, well, not exactly the end, but end of this video, and I'm going to show you later on some of the other neighborhoods in Ogle and good for Wacton, Pradoville 2, the new Marriott Hotel as construction begins. That's a new AC Marriott. Trin Guyana, or Trin Guyana, and the new developments that Exxon is planning in this neck of the woods. But that's it, guys. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. Remember, this channel is supported by merchandise now that you can get from my online store. It's rnbrand.online. You can shop there for your Christmas items. You want to buy hoodies and t-shirts, something that reminds you of Guyana, that identifies you as a Guyanese American, Guyanese Canadian, British Guyanese. We're gonna have all that merchandise on the store, on the online store, rnbrand.online. You can also track the development of my companies at lrdg.rnbrand.online. So shop for merchandise and check out 21 companies I'm building. Over there, it's a massive aircraft hangar terminal, part of the Ogle unit. We're going to see, this is what we're looking at, the back side of the Ogle Airport, and over here I suppose are houses. It says private property, houses in the Ogle neighborhood close to the airport. I think there also might be some institutions in this neck of the woods. But yes, guys, share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening here in Ogle and in Georgetown, Guyana. Shop for merchandise this Christmas at rnbrand.online and let people know what's happening here. Later!